What's up? We are streaming I'm a Ghost Boy YouTube video party. These are videos I upload to like my solo music channel kind of as a mix of different things. This channel's been called like Jam Theory and Peace Love and Ramen and Peace Love and Jam, and right now it's called I'm a Ghost Boy. So yeah, enjoy. This is a little animation I made. I think also music I made possibly. Yeah.
From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the light. From now on, we wait until tomorrow starts tonight. Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. So we aren't perfect, but that don't mean nothing. If you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you. The past whispers to you. Darkest evil in over a century. And Normie. Are you kidding me right now? Who wouldn't like our chances? Things are not quite what they appear. I got for Christmas. I was told you know my father. If you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you. Are you kidding me right now? Who wouldn't like our chances? This is the lot that's going to take down the most dangerous evil in over a century. Magi descended from a very old family. lobster. Hey dude, you okay there? Well, we gotta get you somewhere dry. Come with me. I know just the place. Oh, I see. You're the quiet type. That's all good. What I mean is the dragon's outside. That's what he was staring at when he started to panic. Yeah, I was only trying to help, but then it seems like he had a panic attack or something. I feel really bad. No, people keep saying he's not really gone. As long as we remember him, it still hurts. It's a different kind of hurt. You can't fix this one, buddy. What are you doing? No, don't do that. Unbelievable. Now, what are you doing? Unless it wasn't. That's kind of the idea, buddy. You look sick. You want to keep me healthy, don't you? Punch this. Yes. Hammer fist. Side kick. Knife hand. Back kick. Gummy bears. Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living. And above all, those who live without love. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. If only one remembers eternal life. I want to be strong enough so no one will worry about me. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, the ones I love will always be the ones who pay. I've just got to do this on my own. If you keep something as complicated as love stored up inside, it can make you sick. Every day I wake up knowing that the more people I try to save, the more enemies I will make. I have a choice. Has anyone seen my backpack? It's not my fault it's such a dump here. Here's your bag, Logan. A little better. This was used as a pillow last night. Don't worry, the pretzels will still be warm when you get there. Can't forget to bring Koji. Yo, what? They have cotton candy? Groceries can wait. I'm sorry, boy. The only pair of wooden boots that I had in my inventory is gone missing. This is what I found when it's Hey, I was sent here by the cobbler. He said that he was a friend of yours and that you could tell me the meaning of this mask. Sir, could you please help me? I came all the way down here to talk with you and it seems like you can't even understand me. Okay, I guess I can sit with you for a bit and wait. I don't have anywhere else to go, so might as well. Hey everyone, welcome to Peace, Love, and Ramen. That's what this channel is called right now. I've changed the channel's name so many times, it might still change. Because this channel is kind of like the behind the scenes channel to my main channel. And a place where I can do things that may not necessarily like fit on my main channel. Because my main channel is mainly geared towards like animation and film and storytelling, but there's other passions and stuff that I have, so I wanted to have this channel. And if you've seen some of the videos on this channel, it's kind of all over the place, but been doing stuff with like music and like little like pixel art type things, just silently watercoloring, some like voice acting type stuff with music, and want to do more with music. I have a couple of instruments. I have like a guitar that I've been learning a little bit of and stuff. The chords are interesting. I don't think I've tuned it recently, but been learning like some of the chords. Yeah. And then I think another one, something like that. Yeah. And then I also have like a piano, and Link is holding this phone right now because I can't find my tripod. But I have like this little piano that I've been trying to use more, but I still have to learn piano in general. I know like some things, like there's I think hopefully this isn't too loud since this is sitting on it. up a little bit near the end there. But yeah, so I've been, I want to do some more things with music and stuff, and I've messed around with BandLab and Audacity, GarageBand. Still trying to figure out some things with that, but I just wanted to make this video because I feel like I haven't made like a video of just me in a while on my main channel. So wanted to put it on here, and yeah. I have some goals and stuff that I've been working on that I'm hoping to use both of these channels to work together. This channel definitely won't get as many uploads, maybe like once a month or something like that, or just whenever I feel like it. I have like these are some like goals that I have. I guess it's flipped probably, but yeah, so I have like creating an indie video game, working at an animation studio, working in Japan as an artist. That one's kind of loose. It's like just being able to go to Japan and work as an artist, like even like if I'm just doing commissions from Japan, I don't know. Growing a large audience for my podcast, working on set for like animation. And now it's kind of just maybe even just going and seeing like animation, because they've done some really cool stuff like Kubo and the Two Strings and Paranorman and Missing Link. So it'd be really cool to see some of the sets there. I want to start speaking as an artist to inspire others. So like actually going and traveling, and Jake Parker has been a huge inspiration for me on this, and just being able to go and start traveling to speak to others and stuff, I think would be really cool. Completing a webtoon series, which I've kind of dipped my toe into webtoon a little bit, taking a little bit of a break, is trying to figure that out. But one thing I want to say with these is, it's like, why is this important? I think it's important that you set goals for things that you want to do, and these are 3 to 5 year goals, like giving myself a big gap of or space of time that I can work towards these. And the important thing that I need to do, and that I recommend that you do, is taking one of these goals and breaking it down, which I did with one of my goals was like with YouTube, breaking it down by year and then by month can really help a lot in making a difference in the work that you're doing, and having it work towards a purpose and a goal. So yeah, that's like something with that. And I think some other things that I'm trying to work on are working on improving my portfolio. And if like you are going into animation, or you want to go into animation, you know that a portfolio is super important. Having a studio grade portfolio, and especially adding some more stuff with animation, I think could be cool. I've thought about making a Patreon, so that's something I wrote down here. I made these goals back when I was in college in 2022. So start writing and publishing stories. That's one that I've kind of done a little bit, publishing stories on Medium, on my newsletter, trying to publish them on my website. I've been talking to some other artists about that, like the best way to do that. So yeah, I've become, it's funny looking back at these like a year later, become a master at Blender. It's like, how is that measurable? So make sure that your goals are measurable, and it's okay to write down a goal like that and then maybe refine it to something. Like I'm not, it's hard like quantifying if you are a master at Blender. I think just like being able, in my mind, I wanted to be able to take a concept and take it to completion within Blender, and with the animation tools and grease pencil and all of that, and just be able to make something from kind of concept to fruition within Blender. So I don't know, like I'll have to do some thinking about refining that. Establishing a community for art, which is something that I wanted to do through a Discord server. So I made the steps in making that server, inviting friends to that server and stuff, but keeping that active, it's like, interesting. So there's goals that you'll have that you set that seem clear and kind of, once it's there, that it will just do amazing. Like, it'll be the most coolest thing ever. But there's maintenance, and it takes, so you have to figure out what you want that to be. For me, the community in art was really, I wanted to be able to have a community of people that can support each other in their projects, share like things that they're working on. So there, in a way, it has fulfilled that, even if it's just with a couple of people on there. And I know there's people on there that maybe they're just lurkers, and that's okay too. Like, I love having you around. So yeah, another thing was start selling prints and my art, which I've kind of done with, I'm selling like a hoodie now, not this hoodie that I'm wearing. It's a Peace, Love, and Ramen hoodie, which is why I kind of named this channel that for now, because it's like, I don't know, it's a cool thing. And it was available, so hey. So yeah, that's one thing with prints and art. I think that could be really good. Creating animated music videos for, I said original music, but I think the first thing to do is to be able to figure out how I can make animated videos for pre-existing music, and possibly be able to do that for commissions and stuff, and collaborations with other musical artists and stuff, like the animations that they do for Porter Robinson, and it's another one that does, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's a lot of musicians out there that have really cool like animated music video type things. Good Kid made a cool one for Mimi's Delivery Service, and that was really cool because it's kind of inspired by Studio Ghibli and stuff. One of my other goals was establish a successful brand for hoodies, stickers, socks, and backpacks, because those are things I love, and I think it'd be cool to start selling those types of things. And that's one thing that I've made the hoodie, and it's out there, and anyone can get it, and that's a cool thing. And I have my own hoodie. It was kind of like the test version of it, so it's not quite my size because I ordered large, but it's more like the medium, because yeah, so if you are ordering one, make sure that you order a size or two larger. So yeah, but some of these goals, I found that I can possibly combine them together, like start selling art and establishing a brand for hoodies and stuff, like putting my art on hoodies and stickers and socks and backpacks, and kind of combining those two so I can get two birds with one stone. Yeah, so those are some things with goals. And I think another thing with goals that's important is, like, you think SMART, I think it's like specific, measurable, attainable, is it maybe like reasonable, and like time, like thinking about the amount of time that'll take, setting a deadline can help a lot, and just being like, I want to have this, get this far by here. And that's why YouTube can be really good, especially if you're like, I'm gonna upload weekly, because every time that time to upload comes around, you're starting to put in that time. And I've started working part-time, like at a normal job, I guess you could say, and so weekly uploads hasn't been as consistent, but I'm working on that. So, but yeah, so that's kind of giving you an idea of what this channel will be for, possibly. Just kind of behind the scene things, answering questions that you guys have, sharing music on here, and maybe some like more stuff related to figuring out how to sell art online, and answering maybe some of those questions that you have. I don't know. It's kind of be a smorgasbord of things, going on a lot of tangents and stuff. So, but I hope that you guys come along on the journey, and thank you so much for watching the video to this point. I'm grateful for all of your support, and see you guys next time. Peace. So we are now just uploading the video on Spirited Away, and just wanted to give a little behind the scenes. This is the studio, set up right now. The video is uploading. There's all the edits that we made. It's a big file. Still trying to figure that out and organizing all of that and stuff, but yep, there it is. And I really love the Studio Ghibli films, so I wanted to do them justice, and being able to take some audio from my podcast and put it into this video. And I think it worked out pretty well, and it's been really cool to see how well that's worked out and stuff. So that's been really good. And it's funny, I got these pianos hooked up. This one turns on. This one is unplugged because there's not a lot of USB plugs. So those are some of the realities of YouTube setup sometimes. Sometimes you can't have everything plugged in at once. Maybe I need to get some like powerful USB hub or something like that. But yeah, and then there's the guitar. Yep, so it's going pretty good. Yeah. It's been interesting. It's December 1st and getting ready for Christmas, so excited for that. That's gonna be really good and stuff, and trying to get better at this talking to a camera type thing, because a lot of my videos have been recording voiceover and stuff like that, coming from making a video game channel. Doing voiceover and stuff like that has been like, it's something I've done many times and gotten pretty good at, and it's kind of ingrained, but talking to a camera is a little bit harder, and trying to get better at that. So yeah, but yeah, things are going good. This video is just about uploaded, so 4 minutes left, and then it'll be live on there, and hopefully everything goes well with that, and you guys can check out that video. It's on my main channel, James Pendragon Camland, or at James Candyland. And yeah, I've been doing some more art and stuff just while at work, drawing on the backs of shipping labels. Got some watercolor. Whoa. Got some watercolor paints and a pad. Is that for my birthday? Yeah, I think so. Still need to open that up, but yeah. So that's just a little peek behind the scenes at the studio setup. I need like a super long arm. Yeah, so the video should be up momentarily, and thank you guys for joining me on this little behind the scenes. See you guys next time I do one of these things. Peace. Hey everyone, welcome back to Peace, Love, and Ramen. I just wanted to try this vertical format just because it's easier to frame things and stuff. But I want to talk about my YouTube journey a little bit, which started out with a video game YouTube channel that I had with my brother and a couple of my friends. It was called the Tanuki Toad Team, and we played classic Nintendo games. And it was interesting because for the most part, I was just like the talent. Like, I would show up and play games, and my brother was in charge of all of the like uploading and stuff. So there was a lot that when my brother left for his mission and I took over the channel for a bit, there was a lot that I had to learn about running a YouTube channel and doing things like making thumbnails. But it was really cool because I was able to flex those creative muscles a little bit, which was really nice. And one of the really interesting things that I've had to learn from doing like the video game YouTube channel to doing these types of YouTube videos where it's more like talking head video essays type thing is the video game, you start the game, you play it, and you commentate. And it's like, it's not necessarily easy, but it's all like there and it's ready to go, and you don't have to worry a ton about your script or whatever. You can just kind of do it all improv, and you're able to immediately engage the audience with something that they can relate to, which can be harder with like a YouTube channel if it's just like your face and like they've never seen you before. So they're like, how am I supposed to relate to this? So that was a really interesting thing. During that time, I was trying to figure out like how long it was. I think I started my own video game YouTube channel. So the first one, the group one, was started like 12 years ago. I started my own like 11 years ago, so about a year after starting um, the, is that 12 years ago? Yeah, almost about, right? Yeah, because we started the YouTube channel back in like 2012. But my own thing, I wanted to try out just doing like two-player co-op type things. So we did like Rampage and did some like Lego Lord of the Rings. We did some uh, some mods of like Super Mario 64. And on my friend's channel, we did some mods of Ocarina of Time. So it was like 4-player, and that was really cool. I would actually really like to do that again. And then I went on my mission, and when I came back, I did my first like art video. And I did something, I think I did like, is it in Inkscape or like Adobe Illustrator? I made like a drawing of one of the characters. I think it was in Inkscape, yeah. And it's really interesting to look back at some of those videos. I don't know why, like one of the Rampage videos has like 8,000 views, and it's like, I don't understand how that happened. But it was really cool to just try out some things and not have to worry too much about it. I got to try out some things with, the thumbnails were pretty basic, but I got to try out some like end things before YouTube had the automatic one. So I'd make my own like end credits type thing. And then I was like, I would like to make an art channel, because that's what I was going to be studying in college. And I was like, how would I launch a new channel? I thought about doing it just the same, but I'm like, I don't want, my whole audience is probably video game stuff. So I made my art channel, which started out as like Creator Bits Official, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. But then I was like, this doesn't feel real to me like, it doesn't feel authentic to me. And I think people think maybe I'm like this huge studio of people, and I'm not. I'm just myself. I do like all the editing and stuff myself. So then I changed it to like Bit by Bit James, which was my Instagram handle, and now it's James Candyland. And we'll see. I don't know. I changed my mind a lot on things. So, but yeah. So if you want to check out the main channel, it's at James Candyland, and that's what most of my links are on socials. And I've been doing a lot of videos about animation and about art, and I've done some animations and some stuff in Blender that's done pretty okay. Did like a thing in Maya that did pretty good, and I've been able to just try out different things. Done a lot more with thumbnail design after studying graphic design and stuff. Fonts, really important. Finding fonts that you kind of relate to in some way, and taking those fonts and tying them into your brand or into your idea of who you are as a YouTuber. And I think my first channel, at least that's on there, is the Shovel Knight channel. And it was this eye-opening thing, which I kind of need to learn from. So maybe you can learn from it before I do. But I reached out to someone at Yacht Club Games that worked on Shovel Knight. I was able to do an interview. It was just through email. But it was really cool, and the video turned out really good. And I haven't reached out to like anyone since. So there's something, at least like in the professional level, for doing like interviews, even though I want to. It's just kind of psyching myself out. So yeah, and I did a video essay about music, and it's really cool for me, YouTube, in like documenting things and to see different setups that I used, but the things that are like the same throughout all of them, like this little Link dude, and then the things that are added and come over time, like Baymax and Luigi, and I have a Vaporeon over here. And it was interesting I've done some Let's Plays and video games on there too, but for the most part, it's been art and animation and I wanted to get into vlogging, so I tried that a little bit when I went to the Asian market with my cousin. And it turned out pretty good, but there's just so much that goes into editing a vlog. It's pretty crazy. And one of my videos that really just kind of blew up was on the Super Mario Bros. Movie when that came out. I made this video about it. If I can even see that. Yeah. But and I made it I woke up that morning and I knew that the Nintendo Direct was going on and it was about to be announced, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I'm like, hey, I need to make a react video to this. So I woke up, I ran upstairs, recorded this really cool like reaction video, and I did it live because I was like, yeah, that's gonna be super cool to do this live and to make it like, yeah, I'm gonna connect with so many people. And at the end of it, I was like, dang, that was cool. I looked and I wasn't streaming. I don't know why, but I wasn't streaming to anywhere. The live feed wasn't going to anywhere, really. And because of that, it also didn't save the video anywhere. I was like, oh man. And I was like, okay, well, let's just do this again. So I started it from the beginning and did this reaction to the trailer of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And it did really good, and a lot of people were able to see the channel from that, and it was just really cool seeing that change. And then I've done kind of some stuff with music. I've been wanting to do more with music. Yeah, I definitely tried out a lot of different things, which is really interesting. But I wish you could like flip this around. It was like autofocusing again and again. I think I just turned that thing off. But yeah, so and I've done like an animatic now, which turned out pretty good. I just did like some audio from like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think. I did some videos for Legend of Zelda because I love Legend of Zelda. I made a teaser trailer with stock footage and then just made it to that cinematic format, and it's amazing just that how much that just makes it like cinematic. But I also did a little bit of color grading just to enhance it a little bit, and done some voice acting, real type stuff. So I've just tried tons of different things out and seeing what's stuck and what I've enjoyed. Because there's one thing in like, what are people responding to and reacting to and connecting to, but also it's important that you are enjoying the things that you are doing for your YouTube channel, and that you are getting something out of that as well. So I've tried out things with animation and Blender, and if you're working on a YouTube channel, this is just kind of to say like, don't be afraid to try out new things. Yes, find your niche and like what you want to go into, but don't be afraid to, once you have that box, to think outside of that box, or to break outside of that box and to try out different things that interest you. And honestly, it's hard sometimes especially like today's one of those days that's very hard to think of an idea for a video. I've done a couple from like Studio Ghibli movies and stuff, but it's like once you've done something a couple of times, it becomes kind of like repetitious, and you're like, I need to change this up in some way. So I look for inspiration from people outside of my niche, like Peter McKinnon, Becky and Chris, Andrew Wong. They're like musicians and the photographers and YouTubers that they're not quite like illustrators or animators, but I can learn a lot from them and their process and the things that they focus on. And just looking at the way someone else creates can sometimes inspire you in your own creation. So, yeah. Yeah, I've thought about doing like a deep dive into the time with the Tanuki Toad team, because we made like how many, like so many. It's kind of scary how many videos we made, because we just kept going at it, you know, and type. Made 611 videos, so yeah. And played tons of different games. Played some indie games, which was cool, which got me interested in that, I think, more. So I would like to do more with like indie games and the indie scene. I was thinking about it recently, like, it's so hard trying to get a job within the animation industry, and how at least for now it could be really cool to grow in that indie scene of animation and video game design and stuff. I think could be really cool. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's been on my mind recently, so I just wanted to share that and doing this vertical format, so maybe it'd be a little easier and just to try things out, to experiment, you know, have fun with it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, and ramen. Hey everyone, welcome back to Peace, Love, and Ramen. And I've just been thinking a lot about the current state of animation right now, especially in the animation industry, I guess, like more high-level animation, I guess you could say, which is not the best way of describing it, but you know, like the most well-known animation studios like Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, Sony Animation, Illumination, Netflix Animation has been coming out with a lot of new cool things and stuff, and Warner Brothers Animation and stuff like that. So there's all these companies, and a lot of them have been pushing out a lot of content and movies that are very just kind of, they feel tired, like they don't feel like there's a lot of passion put into them. I just made a video about Elio on my main channel, and I was just thinking about how it's interesting, especially with Disney. They're rebooting a lot of these movies, but they're not rebooting the ones that people really want, like Atlantis and Treasure Planet and stuff. There's a lot of safety that people are looking for, and knowing that, hey, this project is going to make me money, or it's going to be successful, it's going to get us more notice or whatever, we're going to be able to make a profit from this. And that's been kind of more of the focus. And it's sad, really, because like Walt Disney, he said once that he doesn't make movies so he can make money. He has money and makes money so that he can make movies. And that it's often, to create an awesome output, you need to have some capital or some type of money in order to support that. But it's been really cool to see indie animation studios doing like Kickstarters and things like that, and to be able to support their own projects, and to see creators like story artists and stuff creating comic books and webcomics and things like that. So making your own content. And I feel like that's where things are kind of going at this time, is creating your own content and kind of that indie creation of animation, also with video games, but especially with animation. There's a lot of cool things that can be done in these little small teams that are popping up. And it just reminds me of things like with the Dream SMP, and like just a group of friends starting out and limiting like the visual aspect of things to just within Minecraft, with amazing storytelling and drama and fan base that they were able to still create. It's pretty amazing. And also just kind of with even my own YouTube channel, like having a group of people, the past YouTube channel I was on, where it's a group of people doing video game YouTube channel stuff, we were able to reach a lot of people. And there's so much potential within the indie or independent animation space that I think is not being fully grasped or like taken hold of. And I think one of the big things is, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way to accomplish this, but the idea that you want to have, you don't want to work on a project for free, but you're willing to work on your own projects for free, like in your own free time and stuff. And I think if people who are all looking for work right now came together and made projects that will help to grow their portfolio, help to grow their skills and like sharpen those skills and hone those skills, practicing things like storyboarding and writing a script and animation, that they would be able to accomplish a lot of great things. And it's like easier said than done, because I've started this a little bit and reaching out to people and stuff, and it can be tough in communicating and staying motivated, but I think that there is a great potential in that, and still trying to figure it out. But for me, the biggest things has been the idea of creating stories that mean something to you, and that in turn means something to others, and that are going to make a difference in the long run. And there's been these in the popular media, I guess, like stories like Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Dragon Prince, and Voltron actually had like this big following and stuff for a while. And you can see the creators and the animators and the artists and the storytellers, their love for the craft coming through in that animation, in that story. But then there's the polar opposite of that, where you're creating animation just kind of becomes content. It becomes this product. It's just kind of this highly refined, polished thing that has no life or meaning to it. Even if a lot of people have put work into it, it just kind of doesn't come across as a real story or as real characters. And it lacks that humanity that so many amazing animated movies and even shows have shown that you can accomplish. And for me, the biggest thing that I've been trying to focus on is putting myself into my work and my own stories into my work. Things about like growing up, playing games with my friends, or being a part of scouting, spending a lot of time in the woods, going camping, involving those things in the story, because there are things that I can relate to and things that people that were a part of that can relate to, but also just anyone can relate to in some way. And I think Studio Ghibli does this really well, and just focusing on making the ordinary extraordinary and having those moments of pause and those moments of peace within a film can make that film so much more meaningful, where it's not just like tons of stuff flying at you super fast, but it gives you time to breathe. The film gives you time to breathe and to think and to understand this story, and it doesn't treat you like you're not intelligent. It helps you to think and solve things that are going on in the story. It doesn't just spoon feed you everything. You're able to think, and some things are a little mysterious, but you're able to figure that out and become much better through it. Like Across the Spider-Verse did this really well, and just being able to create story characters that are complex and that maybe you don't understand at all times, but you come to understand them better throughout the whole film. And there's just so many great things that can be done with this. And I think a lot of it comes in the indie animation scene, and that's indie animation space. So I want to dive deeper into that. I'm still trying to figure out the best ways to do that. Thought about maybe doing some things in Blender, and but yeah, we'll see where that goes. This is kind of just an update about that. That's kind of something I've been thinking about, and I think something that could use some thought. And I think it's important that you don't just all just jump aboard that space and kind of bandwagon, just dump whatever into there, because that's kind of what's happened with mainstream animation. So I think it's important that you're putting in that time and that effort and that love into the story, and that's gonna make all the difference. Anytime, anyway. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, love, and ramen. You are lost, hope is gone, but you must go on and do the right thing. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, but no one will love you as you are. But I won't let it break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. This is brave, this is Bruce, this is I am who I'm meant to be, this is me. The summer's gone, and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you, must go, and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, and all the valleys hush and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. The song is high. Hey everyone, welcome back to Peace, Love, and Ramen, the show behind the show. This is kind of behind the scenes of my main channel and the thoughts about being a YouTuber or making YouTube videos, making content in general, and like the thoughts that come behind that and how it can impact your life. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do this next year in 2024 and going forward, and the things that I want to work on and work towards. And a lot of it seems to be revolving around telling stories, telling a story, telling meaningful stories, and creating characters that mean something to someone, that someone can relate to. and possibly doing that through animation or animatics, and some of the things behind that. So it's like you get this idea, and it's like, how do you execute on this idea? And it's figuring out what you want to do with that. With animatics, I've been thinking about how I could do maybe something with Blender, and just embracing Blender with its 2D and 3D capabilities and staining out in that way. But then you can also go like the tried and true route of doing like Adobe Animate or Adobe Flash, or maybe doing something totally in a different way of doing something with just, I don't know, puppet animation. I've thought about that actually. It's crossed my mind. I've done stop motion animation before, but like, what is going to best tell the story? And the thing that I really loved about animatics and that I've seen is you can still capture that dynamicism, that the dynamics of motion and speed and stuff. You can still capture that in animatics, and there's a lot of YouTubers that have shown that very well, especially those that have done like animatics for the Dream SMP and stuff. I'm just like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And it's cool because you don't have to animate, you have to have every interpolated frame between that. You can just kind of go off of that, and my arm is getting really tired, so we're just gonna set this phone down. Hopefully I put in a ton of work behind the scenes. So it's working on a lot of things behind the scenes, going and having fun and experimenting and trying out new things, and then sharing that with people. And animatics is one of those things for me. Another thing that I want to do this year is just interview people and talk to people. I started my main channel, the first video, basically there's kind of this video before that, but the first video basically was interviewing someone from Yacht Club Games, people that made Shovel Knight. And it wasn't even like an interview of like talking to each other over Zoom or whatever. It was just email, like just I emailed him some questions, he emailed me back, and then I just kind of spoke the answers in the video. But it was still a really cool thing to talk to someone that's worked on those things and to see the things that I need to work on. Like with games and indie development, something that is really important is making your first game, but not being super precious about it, just making a game, going through that process, and just making tons of maybe little small games, little mini games, and just going through that process and learning a lot through it, and you'll improve a lot over time. I've seen that with video editing, and just trying out different things each time, trying to improve on different things like audio, and audio is crazy. Like I still don't super understand it super well, but I'm learning, and I'm seeing videos improving and the edits improving, and impact and story and emotion that you can feel in the video, and that I can enjoy watching it while I'm editing it. I mean, if you have to watch it like tons and tons of times, and it's interesting, I don't know, it's like being a YouTuber. It's kind of like being a filmmaker or making a movie, making a short film. Every video, you're putting yourself into that in some sort of way. And something that filmmakers often say is they're just trying to get across the things that they love and the things that bring them joy, and share that with someone, share the joy of the world, and the joy of the things that mean something to them, and to share that with someone. I think that is, for a lot of filmmakers, they want to just connect, human connection. They want to share a story and see that people are connecting to that story, and that story is making a difference in their lives. At least that's how it is for me. And the stories that I write, when I say that, it's like this woo thing in the air. They're like, oh, the stories that I write. But just like writing, I've done some writing like screenplay format, and just fictional stories and short stories, kind of some that are just short because they're unfinished. But they're taking things from my life and sharing that in a way that I feel could help someone or impact someone in some way. Like with one of my stories, it sounds really odd, I guess, but I think it would be really cool to show. It's a story about coming of age and kind of leaving home and your life that comes after that. And possibly even, I don't know how, but showing kind of those steps that you take once you've left home and making a life for yourself, like going and buying groceries, making sure you got food in the fridge. Like going to college, that was one thing that you get there and you're like, gotta go to the store, get some food for this week or this semester or whatever. Get the essentials like rice and rice and what else did I get? Well, ramen, almond milk, eggs, cheese, bread, those types of tortillas, those types of things. Yeah, I digress. But kind of sharing, it's hard to put into words, but the real life things that aren't the super beautiful things that are always shown on social media or in film, those things that are meaningful though, and that are important, and to show the little beauty that's in that. And I think that's one of the reasons I gravitate so much towards Studio Ghibli, or maybe that influenced me to gravitate towards this idea, is that they showed the ordinary as extraordinary. Like in Spirited Away, putting on your shoes, and just the way that she puts on her shoe is, there's thought put into that, because we're all unique. We all put on our shoes in different ways. That sounds weird and sappy, but it's just like cool to see those little things, those little ordinary things be made into extraordinary things. And this year I just really want to focus on that idea of what is unique about me and the way that I see the world, and how can I share that with people to help people to find joy and meaning, and to feel loved, and to look around. For me, like looking around at creation, like going around in the woods, you just can see how wonderful the things around you are, and they can inspire you to create amazing art. Or if you're not an artist, if you're just a YouTuber, if you're just kind of came across this video and you're just you're a person, not just a person, like you're a person. We're all people, we're individuals. And I just think it's important that we find the things that make us happy, and we hold on to those things, and we learn and grow and improve, but we have fun in life. We enjoy our lives, and we enjoy each day, and sometimes maybe live life a little not so always rushing around, like just sitting down in a moment and enjoying that moment and feeling those emotions and enjoying the things that are all around us, the little small things that can bring little sparks of joy. Like for me, it's like getting Chinese takeout, or going and going out into the woods again, or just going for a walk and talking to myself, or making a podcast, so kind of still talking to myself, but it can really make that difference. And yeah, those are just some of my thoughts, and hope you guys are doing great. It's 2024. It's gonna be an awesome year. See you guys later. Peace, love, and ramen. Oh, thanks, Buster. Buster said you're pretty good at injecting emotion. You should look into work narrating audiobooks or something. That'd be super cool. I would be so down to do that. I love like voice acting and writing and just like books and stuff. So that'd be really cool. It'd be really awesome to narrate books. Thank you. Heart beats fast. Colors and promises, how to be brave, how can I love when I'm afraid to fall, watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. Love you for 1,000 more.
Yeah.
James.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you? Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders could one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, in your fins you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down what's that word again? Streets. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What I would give if I could live out of these waters. What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Right, young woman, sick of swimming, ready to stand, and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. But what's a fire and what is it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of
that world. So, welcome back to Peace, Love, and Ramen, and this is the show that's kind of the behind the scenes of my main YouTube channel. And Happy New Year to everyone out there in the world. It is 2024, and for me, I feel like it's going to be a year of two things I've been wanting to work on. One is more color in my work. I'm an artist and an illustrator and putting more color. I've been doing a lot of just line drawings and sketches and putting more color in my work. It's a little tough because I'm still trying to figure out if I'm more of a digital or traditional artist and the best ways to do that. But yeah, it is what it is. I digress. Another thing is a year of spontaneity, which is kind of with this, and trying to talk more to the camera and get better at that, and doing it where I'm doing it from my phone, so I can't really see what it looks like. Hopefully you can actually see me in this shot. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of old videos recently, just kind of looking back, thinking about how hindsight is 2020, and the things I want to work on. I made like a list, but I find really just simplifying it down to what I really want to work on, just choosing like one or two things, and each day going towards those things. And I think this works for a lot of goals, just kind of simplifying it, and like why is this goal a thing? Like I want to do more with animatics and animation. Why is that? It's because I have stories that I've written and that I want to tell, and a visual medium. And animation has meant so much to me, from like Studio Ghibli and Disney. And I made a video on my main channel about animation and the state of it. It's not to say like I feel like animation is dying or whatever, but there's so many things that in stories that aren't being told, and things that can really make a huge difference in animation, that it's sad when there's a lot of executive stuff and different things with that going on, that you lose sight of that creativity and that passion in art. And that's something that I want to lean more towards, which I've seen in the indie space and indie animation and indie games. And so I want to go in that direction. It's hard doing it alone. And you may be going through that too, having all these ideas and being like, what can I do with these? And I think working with people, collaborating, working together with other people, getting to know other people and collaborating more on that deeper level, and just getting to know people in the industry, but also people that are at the same place that you're at. And it's hard to do that sometimes if you're at if you're a YouTuber and you just starting, you can't really see all the other YouTubers that are just starting because they can't see you, because you haven't yet had that reach. So you have to find new ways of connecting with people through like social media, and you can lose sight of where you want to go with that. And for me in social media, this is just going to be a lot of rambling. That's kind of what this show is, just being able to talk out some of the things I'm feeling behind the scenes of working on a YouTube channel and being an artist, and feeling like I need to have this like arc, this character arc of being an artist. And the best ways that I've seen social media help is reaching out to people directly, because if you're just posting out into the void and that's all you're doing, then you can feel really, really alone. So it's important to reach out to people and to connect with people and to share stories, to make genuine connections, not because you want to get something out of it, but because all of us, we're lonely. Like artists can be lonely, and it can be a lonely thing to be a YouTuber too. So it's important to make those connections and focus on the human and real aspects of social media when you're on social media, connecting through messages or sharing a story, connecting with people in that way, commenting on artists that have inspired you and saying thank you, like you've inspired me a ton, and showing gratitude for that. And because every artist loves to hear that someone's loving their work and that it's done something for them or meant something for them. So yeah, that's kind of some of the things I've been thinking about. There's a lot of stuff coming out with animation and animations that are coming out, and it's kind of a mixed bag. There's some stuff that is kind of discouraging, but then some stuff that's super inspiring, like Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, and the animation and filmmaking and story is just super duper inspiring. And I'm actually also excited for Pixar's new movie Elio. I think that looks really cool, and I think it's important that we just, and it's hard to do, I'm trying to work on it too, is just taking away that artifice or the fake stuff and finding the human stuff, the human stories, and the real life connections that can be made through animation. I once heard that filmmakers and storytellers, it's just trying to show